Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks and another episode of building the Batcave in Lego. In the last update we concentrated on the garden area, so we got all the plants in, the path in, we put the road, the pavements, the trees in, and all we got left to do up there is the roof on the carport. I will probably amend the garden area here because it looks a little bit chaotic. It's not perfect by any shape or form, so I would like to have another go at tidying that up a little bit. On this update I was going to start off by doing the road down here, and also there's a little bit of rock work I need to do inside that arch. However, I'm still not happy with the concealment to the Batcave. I don't like the way these lines go across here, and that looks way too jaggedy up there, and I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to hide those handles but still be able to get my fingers in there to pull the levers down. Now, I have had a couple of people after the update for last saying, what about the doors opening inwards or it coming down and there not being the road there, so the door comes down and that is the road for that section. It's not possible to do so with the way that I've built this. The entrance the tunnel is too narrow. If I was to have the door opening, you're going to narrow the tunnel and I won't be able to get the vehicles out. And as nice as it would have been to have had it come down like that, I think that would look super cool. It just, again, there's too much destruction that would need to take place here. I'd have to take so much of this off. I'd have to take the roof off, the whole lot. So it's not possible due to the way that I've made it. If I ever revisit the mock, it's certainly an idea I think I would keep in mind for it. So the only way that this concealment works is by putting something up here. And that's what I'm going to concentrate on doing first of all today. I'm going to rip that off, see what other options I can come up with, and then I'll take it from there. So yeah, once we've ripped that off, if we've come up with a different technique, I'll check back in and show you what we're going to do. So let's get to it. And after spending all morning trying to work on the concealment of the cave, we have still got absolutely nowhere. No folding up door looks right. They're all looking really bad. So what we decided on doing is the similar style as the lift. We're going to have two runners and the cogs on the side there and make the door come directly up. Somebody did suggest it in the comments, and I think I've worked out a way of doing that. So fingers crossed we'll get there. It's going to mean I'm going to need to build the rock out, but I think even with like an overhang on there, it should still look quite good. But yeah, let's see what we can do. And the work continues on the cogs here, and we just had a massive problem where we had one brick in the way, and I tried to force it out, and a load of rock fell inside, so we had a bit of a cave in. But all fixed. Only took about half an hour to get it all back in place, and now hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to actually get this this mechanism all working. The problem I had was I couldn't get one of the cogs far enough back, and I can only have every other cog sticking out this way to be touching the runner. Otherwise, if I've got two consecutive cogs touching the runner, they're going to be counteracting and it's not going to work basically. But yeah, it's proven to be quite the challenge, this one. What a mess we have made here. Anyway, we have finally got a door in place, and it does actually slide up and down on some runners. So we've got cogs either side, and then if I take the door out just to show you, and then again on the back here we have got the runners. It's exactly the same as we did on the lift and also on part of Jabba's Palace. And I've used this method again, which is the same as the lift as well. So that literally just slides into the gaps that we've made there. And then hopefully when we turn these cogs, it'll be okay to lift the door up, which is looking like it's going to be the case. Now all I need to do is build out a platform on here, make sure there's a gap big enough behind the door, and then build the rock work up over it. But yeah, pleased with how it's looking. It's a lot better so far, I think. And certainly from some angles, I'm a lot more happy with that. Now what we need to do is build that up and see if we can fully enclose it. We are finally getting to the stage where we can put the last few cogs and axles in. So at the moment the cogs are all connected, going all the way down on both sides. The runners, the door does come up. You need to put a lot of pressure on these bricks here, otherwise the axle just pops up. So you need to make sure that's got a lot of bricks above it and it's pushing it all down nicely. But really pleased with how it is looking now. I mean, just going around from every angle, it's so much tidier. It looks a lot more concealed. And yeah, I'm just so pleased that I did continue to be disappointed with the old version. And really pleased again that somebody sort of like suggested like going upwards with that. I didn't think it was possible to start with, but looked at it and thought if I do enough of an overhang here, then it will work. And again, it's just improved the MOX so much. So yeah. Anyway, let's stop talking and let's carry on building up along the top there, and we can check back in once we've done so. And it's only taken all day, but we finally got the concealment to the back cave sorted out. I'm a lot happier with this, the way that the lines all go down, and the same with the door. I'll show it in a second, you'll see that. But with the turn of this wheel on the side, the door goes up and down. A little bit stiff, but yeah, it's a lot better. And also it stays open as well. And you can see nicely down into the tunnel, or at least you would be able to if there were lights on in there. But yeah, when it's down, you can no longer see any mechanisms. There's no sort of like ugliness there, and from a distance you wouldn't even notice it. So one of the things I was sort of like saying before is if you had a hiker walking along here, if this was for real, you wouldn't want them to know that there was anything in there. And now I feel that it's actually that way. It does look a lot better. Just doing the vegetation along the top of the rock here, and also doing it so there's plants coming down the side of it. And what we're doing is we're connecting two of these together like so, and then getting one of these and poking it through each of the holes on there. And if you push it through, it can connect two together. So here's another one that we've done here. And then what I've done, I've put a snot brick on there and put it in there. And then you just push the leaf element right in, and it goes into the snot brick as well. And then there you have it. The moss comes down, or the plant comes down. And again, you can just bend it and move it accordingly. But yeah, there we go. A bit of greenery around the rock. A little bit more to put along the top there and just there. And we might put a few odd bits along here. Still not sure what colour to go with on the road bit there. So I'm just going to hold fire on doing that just now. I'm going to concentrate on doing the garden on Wayne Manor. So we'll get all of this finished, do the garden, and then we'll come back to that bit at a later stage. And just checking in with an update to show you the progress we've made. So we've put all the olive green shrubbery on the rock face there, and I think it really does break up the dark blue grey, and I'm really happy with how that's looking. We put some curved slopes on the top of the bridge there, so again that's a nice finishing touch. And we've put 4 lamps on the pavements there, 2 on either end. The carport has now got a roof that's all tiled off as well, and we've put a couple of lamps outside the front door, and also one just by the steps that lead down into the gardens. And we put some finer details in above the porch area there as well. The chimney stacks, they're all finished now, so we've got both of them in, and we've also put the little the finishing touches on the very top as well. They're just using some 1x1 cylinders and some wheel pieces. And along the top there, we've also put some 1x1 bricks, and it just fills the gap in, and then obviously the Nexonite on the end there. We're now going to be turning our attention to getting the bookcase in the study. So I'm going to take the roof off, take the first floor off, and then we're going to see how big it needs to be and try and work out some sort of mechanism so that the bookcase can be opened using a lever on the back there. Whilst we've got the floors off and the roof off, we're also put some holes in so we can feed the connector cable through for the lights on the back side and also here, and we can then start feeding the lights through down the bottom and all of that sort of thing as well. So yeah, let's get that roof off, get the first floor off, and then we can start designing. So I thought I'd just show you how the bookcase is going to work. First of all, on the bottom here we have got a tile. It's a circular one with a hole in the centre. We've then got our axle with our small cog on, and that just rests in there. We've then got a brick, Technic brick, with another one of the cogs on there. So that just connects all together. Now, when you turn this, it's rotating that one there. We've then got another Technic plate with another one of the flat tiles, and then that will go over the top of there to hold everything in place. So we'll pop that on there, make sure it turns, that's all good. Now, what we're going to do after that is we are going to build our bookcase, and we're going to make sure that on the bottom of the bookcase it has got a Technic brick fixing sort of thing. So that will sit on the axle going all the way to the bottom, and then what will happen, you'll turn the lever at the back and it will open the bookcase. So as long as we can make sure that it doesn't clip the wall, then we're fine. If it does, we just have to move it in by 1 brick. But I thought I'd just show you the mechanics behind the bookcase and how simple it is. And here it is. Turn the knob and the bookcase opens and closes. So the brick wall that we're going to be putting back up will be coming to here. So there is a 1 stud gap on there. The floor we just need to tile off, so that's needs to come up by 1 plate as well otherwise there's going to be a bit of a gap there. Or I may just tile it and then it's just leave that section there where it's got a little bit raised. So we'll work out that bit out anyway. But really pleased with the end result on there. It's come out, it's been a lot easier than I was anticipating. Not too many hiccups or problems. So yeah, we'll just get all of this rebuilt up, and once we've done so, we'll check back in. And here we have Bruce Wayne's office. So we've got the bookcase in, we've got a few other bits of furniture there, along with a clock. And then we've got his office table there, weapon on the wall. And it's very simple the way that it works. On the side here, there is a little wheel that you turn. So when you rotate it, that opens the door, and then you turn it back. And then obviously you've got your other lever as well, which brings the lift up and down. So yeah, all works really well. Just need to do a couple more bits of the finer details within the office there, and then we can put the roof on and start attaching all the lights to the house. Once we've done that, the house will be done. So yeah, let's carry on and get back to it. So we've put all the window glasses in the window, so that's all done, and I've put the wires through the house. Now originally I was going to have it so that the wires all went to a connector board and the battery was going to be inside. However, what I've decided to do is bring the power supply out here. It's just going to make it a lot easier to turn the lights off and on without having to take the roof off and the first floor off, so that's the reason for that. Another thing I've also done, excuse the camera, another thing I've also done is I've tiled this off. It is something that has been annoying me for ages, and somebody did comment at the end of the last video about the fact that the studs were very off-putting. Unfortunately, there isn't a wedge tile that angle, so what I've done, I've gone for a couple of the curves on there. So it's a quarter circle and then the 2x2 quarter circle as well on top of that. And although it's not perfect, it does look a lot better than the studs there. And again, unfortunately, I don't even do any wedge plates that sort of size either. So yeah, that's that bit done. I am going to have another go at building a tree here. There was another comment from Bode last week, or last video as well. And somebody's also mentioned about putting moss on the carport as well. And again, that is something that I'm considering doing. I was going to put it over the sides of it, but I'm going to wait and see how the tree looks and then go from there. And I might also do some climbers up the side of the house on this side as well. But again, I don't want to overdo it with the greenery, but it certainly is an improvement what's happened so far. And yeah, we'll just see how much more we can get done in this update. And we have a tall tree, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. It's also very structurally sound as well. So on the tree there are the curved bricks, and I've put a snot brick below it and above it, and then a plate connecting the two together, and then kept doing that all the way up. So each snot brick is connected to the snot brick above using the plate, and that way it can't fall apart or it won't topple over, sort of thing. But yeah, the garden I think is looking a lot better now, so I'm really pleased about that. The one final thing I'm going to do for this update is work on the fountain. I have found some water elements. I'm hoping I can actually create something in there. But yeah, just pan out a little bit so you can see the new look. Looking good. So I've come across my trans blue collection of pieces, which isn't that many apart from the 1x2 tiles. And what I've decided to do is probably, well, it is classed as a legal technique, I'm sure. Got a lightsaber, and we've got one of these trans blue dishes, and I'm just going to push that in there to start with. And we've then got these, which go on minifigures' hands, so they actually need a clip on them. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm just going to rest them over the edge of the dish, and do that all the way around. So it gives the illusion of like water droplets. I don't know if I can fit one more in there, maybe. Yeah. Yep, so that's all of them on there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put another one of these on the top, which is then keeping them all in place. Then we'll put a smaller dish on the top, just to give the illusion that the water is pouring out. So yeah, so there is our water feature. So now all we need to do is make some sort of like fountain in there. But yeah, there it is. Quite pleased with how that's turned out, considering we had very few parts. Luckily we had the right parts, so yeah, it's another little feature we've managed to get completed for the Batcave, or Way Manor in this case. And we're just checking in one final time for this update, and what an update it's been. So many changes. And I suppose really this episode has been mainly about correcting things that we weren't happy with, such as this rock formation down here. Much happier with the technique of that actually going up now, as opposed to sort of like folding up and it looking ugly. So yeah, it's a lot better. Having the green along the top I think helps a lot as well, so that's a big change, but it's another thing, it looks more completed. Obviously we've smoothed the top of the bridge off over here, we've moved the wow over into this section here, and I've even put the boards on there to make it look like the wood there that Bruce Wayne falls through. We've now got the tall tree, which is almost as tall as the house, with the owl sat on top. Chimney breast's been done, the fountain's been done, and just a few tweaks with the garden and things like that. So yeah, really pleased with the progress that's happened in this episode. As I said, mainly correcting and finishing off things that we weren't happy with. The study has now got the bookcase, which now opens as well. There's windows in the property as well. So on this side of things, the top of the mock is pretty much complete. Got the roof on the carport. The wires are coming into the manor, and then I've put the USB socket outside the manor. It's a lot easier to have all the wires so they're sat on the surface rather than just dangling. But what I've got to do is still wire up the lights inside the Batcave at the bottom, so I need to find a couple of holes down there. I won't be actually showing you the light switched on until the finale. But the next episode, we're going to be concentrating on the inside of the Batcave. So I've got the room down there that needs to be done. The gym has been done. It's only a very small gym, but I haven't shown that yet. The computer room needs redoing. I want to get the computer sort of like terminal looking a lot better. And I need to do something at the bottom where the lift comes down, because at the moment there's sort of like a gap where it stops, and then it'll be a massive jump off to get onto that. Still deciding whether or not I want to put a platform on here. And I've got to do the bat boat and the bats jet ski. So yeah, still a few bits to get done. Need to change that wheel there. But yeah, really happy with how this is all coming on. I think you've only got 2 or 3 updates at most before this will be finished, and we'll have that finale. So how long it's going to take me to film the finale, because obviously I want to make it look good, I'm not sure, but we'll do our best. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Share it with as many people as possible. It'd be much appreciated. And remember to hit that notification bell so you can be up to date with any future content on the channel. Anyway, thanks for hopping on by. See you next time. Bye for now.